Welcome back to Treviso, Italy for Adidas EuroCamp 2017, Day 2. Opening up the matchups this morning, we have the U.S. team, 1 of 2, the Path, 1-0 on the EuroCamp 2017 circuit, taking on Slovenia U20, 0-1 on the circuit, and that one loss came on the back of the talent as well as the coaching staff of the U.S. select team yesterday, which were joined by their head coach, like we were for a broadcast yesterday, the great Seth Greenberg alongside as well. Seth, how are you doing today?
It was actually more the talent of how hard those guys played and very little coaching. But they did play hard, they played well, and they were unselfish, but they're going to play a very good Path team today, a team that should dominate them athletically. You'll watch a lot of ball pressure from this Path team trying to speed up the Slovenia team. The one thing about when you play a national-type team is they're going to be able to run sets, play with very good spacing, so it's going to test your discipline.
Slovenia in the blue jerseys, white numbers, white trim. Meanwhile, the U.S., the Path in the white jerseys, navy blue numbers, and the navy trim. The back tap on the tip is controlled by the U.S., the Path, and Quinierly. That's Javon Quinierly will start things off. Gives it over to Devontae Smart. And a quick turnover by the U.S. team leads to a fast break opportunity by Slovenia, but they turn it over. Coach, what did you notice from Slovenia yesterday that they lacked in the late first half, early second half that you expect them to try to improve on today?
I think that they're, to me, they're a little bit more engaged. They settled into the game and the athleticism of the game as the game went along, so I thought they did a better job with that. And then they made some shots. Here's where they struggle. They struggle getting 50-50 balls right there. They struggle with ball pressure. They struggle containing the basketball on the bounce.
Smart has it on the far right side. A second chance point opportunity thanks to the rebound from Quickly, as Reed's fall-away jumper is well short, and a fast break opportunity for Slovenia.
And that's just settling right there. They're going to have to do a good job in defensive transition, the Path team. They're going to have to guard a ton of ball screens, because Slovenia did a good job in the second half against us.
Ziga Habat all the way to the rim, misfires wildly. And the Path looked to push it up the floor all the way to the rim. A layup is good from Javon Quinierly. He had 9 yesterday.
Right on top of your names, right from the get-go. I mean, you don't miss a beat.
Got to stay sharp, Coach. Got to stay sharp, as do the Path team in general. You talked about it yesterday. When playing these European squads, the pace and the aggressiveness has to be at its all-time high from the get-go of this ball game.
Yeah, you've got to be locked in defensively, because they're going to move you side to side. They're going to screen you. But where they really struggled, they struggled getting loose balls. They struggled containing the basketball. They struggled rebounding the basketball.
A foul on the fast break opportunity committed by Slovenia. Coach, you talked about that yesterday. It's a well-known part of the international game that you, on your U.S. select team and the Path coaching staff of Coach Sam Mitchell, have mentioned. You got to expect that in the fast break. There's going to be fouls committed to prevent the advantage from happening.
Yeah, and you've got to understand it's going to happen. It can't let it take you out of your game. They're trying to stop the clock. They're trying to take away an easy basket and set their defense, because athletically they can't guard in transition. 2-0
here early for the Path, as we'll see a little half-court offense run by the Slovenians. Zanmark Cisco controls the far left side. Cisco holds off a screen. He'll drive and loses the handle. Taken up by Smart for the Path. There's that tenacity, and there's the transition foul.
It's a different way to really work on your defensive transition. Defensive transition is all about shot selection and floor balance. The better offense you run, the better your defensive transition. But if you turn it over, if you can't get back, you basically stop a transition opportunity. Those were the 2 runouts. It would be 6-0. At least now it's a 2-point game. Slovenia, to stay in the game, they're going to have to make a ton of threes, and they can't turn it over. They've done both of those things. They haven't been able to make a shot.
Quinierly, elbow misfires. And you mentioned it, Coach. It makes the Path have to work in the half court when fouling in transition instead of getting those easy runouts.
Exactly.
Habat feeds inside. Urban Durnick with his first post touch goes up and under, misfires. Rebound taken by Reed. Feeds up the floor to Quentin Grimes. Grimes over to Javonte Smart. Smart works and finds Emmanuel Quickly. He had 18 yesterday. 15, excuse me. Feed inside to Reed. He goes up strong and is fouled. Zanmark Cisco, who had 17 yesterday, really carried the workload for Slovenia in that U.S. select matchup.
Nice job of isolating Reed on the right-hand side. poor weak side help there, but just a simple two-man game on the right side of the floor and a good decision by the U.S. team.
Reed hits the first free throw. Naz Reed ranked inside the rivals' top 15. He's ranked number 14. He's got offers from UConn and Kansas, as well as Maryland, NC State, St. John's, Syracuse, and Villanova, to name a few. He knocks them both down.
You'd be better off saying who hasn't offered him.
Who hasn't? Exactly. And there's a lot of players on both the path and the U.S. select team where that's the case. I'll throw out everybody and their mother pretty much is going after this young guy, and that's the truth with Reed as it is with most of these kids. There's a three hit on the far right side by Ziga Habat. He was scoreless in the select game yesterday.
He was a focal point of our scatter report.
And he brings the Slovenians within one. Reed thought about a triple. Kicks to Smart. He'll tee one up for three. Left it short. Fighting for the board. The Slovenians secure it, and they'll look to possibly take their first lead of the ball game. And a wild dribble lands out of bounds almost. No, it's saved by the Slovenians, and now we'll see what they have in their half court. That floater is left short by Baric, and now a run out to Reed. Extra pass, wild turnover. No, it's going to be, yes, the Slovenians will secure it. Looked like might be a save opportunity for Grimes. This frenetic pace can lead to turnovers, and these teams barely dodging them left and right, but count it, put it on the line for Urban Durnick. He's able to get the inside presence against quickly, size up and score.
Nice job of recognizing a mismatch in transition, sealing in the middle of the lane, and finishing against a small defender. One thing about the Slovenian team, they're going to play with good spacing, all right, and they're going to try to attack matchups, and if you help or shrink the court, they're going to skip it and try to make a play, which they've done twice so far in this game.
6-4, first lead of the ball game for Slovenia. And in a way, early on, as Reed will tee up a three, that one's money. Naz Reed got 5 on the session, but yesterday for the Slovenians, it was a back and forth game early on, and then adjustments were made to stay more physical and keep that aggressive pace up, and it flustered the Slovenians a bit.
Adjustments, that mean, you mean coaching?
I do.
Oh my God.
I do, that's a tip of the cap right there. As a behind the back pass turned over to Reed, and he'll look to go all the way to the rim. A lot of contact, count it, put him on the line. Naz Reed with 7, all 7 of the path points. An opportunity for an old-fashioned three-point play upcoming.
It takes time to settle into a game, and you got to get a feel for the game. This path team, extremely talented. They know that the select team won fairly easily yesterday. It's an early game. It's like the NCAA tournament. You play that 12 o'clock game, it's not easy. The second day traveling, a little bit more difficult. So it'll take a little bit of time for them to settle in.
Historically speaking, the Americans know that their teams have struggled here in EuroCamp. And we talked about this a lot yesterday with the age differences and the talent gaps as well. How important is it for the path after dominating yesterday as a block by Reed leads to a transition opportunity potentially?
Great hustle play right there by Reed.
Bodies everywhere on the floor for this one. It's going to be saved just on the end line by Quickly. Is he going to be able to hang on to it? Yes, a pinball machine-like pace. But the Americans coming with possession. As Quickly pump fakes and travels. As I was going to ask you, Coach.
It's a different rule right there. You can't throw the ball out in transition. That ball's going to go down before you make that step.
Before you make the
European
drive.
Officiating. I tried to help the official with that. They didn't understand it.
Coach, how important is it for the path, knowing how well they played yesterday against the Euro All-Stars, to keep their heads right going into this ball game, knowing it's a fresh page and this is still a talented Slovenian team?
Yeah, I think the most important thing for these kids is you're using every game as an opportunity to get a feel for each other, how to play on better spacing, to share the ball. Like, to me, it's really an opportunity to just become a better team. You become a better team by sharing the basketball. If the kids on the bench are celebrating the kids on the floor, all right, they're going to get better today. I mean, they're going to win this game because of their athleticism, their quickness, their talent. But this is a step. This team's going to be together a good portion of the time. How do you become a better team? Become a better team by having a shared experience, and that's what I think Coach Mitchell's going to want.
Jordan Brown sizing up in the paint. Nice little up and under move. Gets that one to go down. Make it 12-6 the path.
Mitchell's really good at pivoting, creating angles. Got a really nice jump hook.
First points of the session for Brown. He had 8 yesterday. as the Slovenians try to run their offense and get a little points back on their side. But that shot's misfired by Jurnej Lidl. And a fast break opportunity right off the glass and in, converted by Darius Garland, the leading scorer yesterday for the Path. He had 18, and he's in the box score with that glass layup.
Slovenia really struggling, to say the least, in defensive transition. Almost every single bucket has been in transition. Middle ball screen defense. I'm sure Sam's going to address that right now.
Rade Leicesar with the layup. He's got 2. And the timeout taken on the court, 3:45 to go here in the first. 14-8 the score. Advantage the Path, and Coach, right from the onset of this ball game, and we've talked about it, the keys to the Americans is keeping that pace and also moving without the ball as well, but keeping your foot on the gas pedal. And to this point, the Path doing that and spreading it across the roster to have the 6-point lead.
Yeah, if you defend, you get out in transition, and the game becomes easier. If you can use your athleticism, your quickness to get to the glass, the game becomes easier. Reed's been really good to the start of this game, running the floor, handling the ball, knocked down a 3. All right, pushed it in transition, got an N1. He's been really, really active. More active today maybe than he was yesterday. That last play defensively, and the reason I think Sam just called that timeout, is on the middle ball screen, you've got to have better help on the backside, and that's so important. Look at Reed right there getting to the floor. Second player, I think is that Montgomery getting to the floor?
It was Quinn Grimes diving on that
getting
one.
to the floor. And there's the middle ball screen, late help on the backside. You got to force him to throw that skip pass and then close out to the skip.
In terms of the amount of screen and off-ball action that the Path players have seen in their careers, this EuroCamp is probably, to this point, the pinnacle of that in terms of the amount of off-ball action they've seen.
The all-star team they played yesterday, because, look, in American basketball, you're not going to see a lot of guys flip their screen, change the angle of the screen. The spacing isn't the same. I mean, if you watch, whether it's Slovenia or any of these.
Pass to Garland's tip, they're going to say.
You're going to see the corners filled, and you're going to see them play a step behind the three-point line. So any ball screen, the defense has to make a decision. They're really spread out. But they'll flip and re-screen ball screens. So that's a challenge for the Americans.
Live ball turnover by the Path, and Slovenia will get an opportunity to cut into this 6-point lead. Nejic Beric controls off a screen from Leicesar. Works around it, feeds over to left wing. Lidl will tee up a 3. That one's off the back iron. Romeo Langford checks in for the first time today. Skying high for the rebound, but turns it over to layup right out front by Nejic Beric. The Slovenians staying with that one-man pressure. And it leads to now a 4-point deficit for Slovenia.
Seems like the Slovenians are a little bit more active defensively.
Brown puts it up. It's fouled, what are they going to say, on the floor before the shot. Let's see. No, it will be in the act, so Brown will get himself 2 free throws. Jordan Brown ranked number 4 inside the Rivals top 100. Notable offers from Arizona, Nevada, St. John's, UCLA, Oregon, and Cal.
Brown is long, quick, bouncy, really good around the basket with his footwork, finishes high. Nice player.
Brown splits the pair. One of those new age power forwards of really utilizing the long-range jumper as well as his mid-range game. And then inside to boot, you're right. Brown, one of the most promising prospects on this 2018 class. As the defense on the baseline forces Nejic Martinic out of bounds. Turnover back to the Path.
One thing when you defend the Slovenian or the European big guys, you got to stay down, you got to stay in front, because they're going to keep their dribble alive. But if you shrink and help, they're pitching it out, you're giving up an open 3 or hopefully a contested 3.
E.J. Montgomery working the handles. Feeds over to Garland. Darius rises, fires, and hits from the right elbow. He's got 4, make it 17-10. Largest lead of the ball game for the Path. And Langford fouls out front, as Nejic Martinic was looking to run the fast break for Slovenia.
That's going to be a steal right here.
Brown does force the pressure, but Gradolnik able to retain possession. And Barnich works off a screen from Leicesar. Feeds him on the roll to the rim. He's fouled.
That's that middle ball screen once again. That weak side defense has got to get off into help. You got to force that weak side skip and close on the skip. U.S. team a little late. We'll put that in a note for tomorrow's game.
Coach, one of your exclamation points in terms of what you were working with through the practices with your players was communication. How much of that is communication in those situations?
It's complete communication, because what they're trying to do is weak that middle ball screen. Now that they didn't weak it and get it to the single side where they could shrink the court. But that's all talking. Those guys behind the screen have got to talk and be alert. The more you talk, the more alert you are. So if you talk, one guy talks, all of a sudden it becomes an epidemic, and that's the goal.
Langford receives the inbound. Be interesting to see how that improves the path over the course of this ball game. No doubt a talking point for Sam Mitchell, the communication. As Brown handles it, and a foul away from the basketball. Reddish was trying to get free after a screen was set by the path. Credit the foul to Jernej Ladle. He was held scoreless in the first game yesterday against Select. And it's the fifth foul, so it'll be the bonus. Exactly.
Yeah, we knew who to give and who to take it away.
Reddish will go to the line. Cameron Reddish. When you combine him with Jordan Brown, you suddenly have 2 top 5 players inside the Rivals top 100. Arizona, UConn, Duke, Maryland, you name it, they're coming after Cameron.
Sure, Villanova, Philadelphia, outside of Philadelphia kid.
Hits them both, no doubt. 19-11 the score, an 8-point advantage for the Path.
The Path really haven't picked up their defensive intensity compared to where they were at the end of the game yesterday. I thought they were really
pick and roll play. Again, and a slam for Ray Day Lecisar.
That's that backside right there, just not being alert. Langford's got to be a little more alert defensively.
Pass in the corner to Reddish, almost falls out of bounds, now gets to Langford. Langford looking for a little bit of separation, falls, shoots, and just barely misfires. Montgomery had the board, lost it, and Martinich is there. Now the extra fight by Reddish is going to try to get an extra bounce pass right to Brown for the layup.
Really, Reddish has such a good feel for the game. He's so versatile. He can play so many different places on the floor. Really good unselfish play. That's what you want to see when you're coaching this type of team.
8-point advantage for the Path. As Slovenia, more action, this time in the corner, misfired. Rebound taken by Reddish as Lecisar could not get that one to fall. Langford driving all the way to the rim, knifing through and scores.
Really nice right there. Good hit ahead, advance pass. Langford attacking, very nice. Good unselfish basketball, good job of running the floor.
Romeo's first points of the game. He had 8 yesterday.
He had 6 in a row yesterday. I thought he banged 2 big threes in a row that were really important for the Path team.
Beautiful to create the separation for the Path in that ball game. The 10-point lead is cut in down to 8 as Urban Durnick crashes the glass for Slovenia. Make it 23-15. Garland handles off a screen for Brown. Tried to find him on the roll. Now he'll utilize a little crossover dribble all the way. Teardrop floater is in. Garland's got 6. It's a 10-point advantage. Final seconds ticking off.
I like that Garland gets up and pressures. Pressure the ball in the backcourt. Garland's giving him a little bit of spark. He's explosive offensively. He gets in the lane. He's got all kinds of runners. And he has the ability to pressure the basketball.
Timeout taken by Slovenia. They'll try to run out of timeout before the end of the first quarter, and want to tease for you now at the end of this first quarter. We have a little bit of inside the huddle, so to speak, as head coach of the Path, Sam Mitchell, is mic'd up. We'll have his conversation with the Path as they prepare for, presumably at this point, a 10-point lead in hand heading into quarter number 2. We'll have those conversations with Coach Mitchell and the Path after every quarter of this first session ball game.
How good is that? I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, bells and whistles inside the huddle, man behind the bench.
Second to none.
It is as good as it gets.
They'll add a couple seconds on the clock.
Expert direction, I might add.
The great Brian Williams running the show. As the clock officials will add some time. See if they stop it at about 13 seconds for this final play of the quarter. And carrying the load, a combination of Darius Garland, Jordan Brown, and Naz Reid.
Naz Reid really got him off to a good start, don't you think? I mean, it seemed to me he was much more active. He was running the floor. He was finishing around the basket, knocked down that big three, was involved in a steal and got out in transition. Basically, he showed his versatility. He's got a lot of tools in the box. And he showed a lot of those tools. If you think about it, he's more active defensively. He led a fast break. He knocked down a three. Took the one little step back, one-footer, which you really don't need. But I thought he was really active. I thought he played at a high level.
Yeah, and it seemed like as he continued to succeed on both ends of the floor, his entire game was elevated.
Sure.
You saw the confidence on that triple in the middle of all that.
It's kind of when you pronounce something well.
I feel
all
good.
Of a sudden,
I
next
get
play,
rolling.
I tell you are rolling.
Final 13 seconds. They'll add 13.7 onto the clock to end the quarter as Rozan will work on the right side. He waits. Thought he drew a double team. Instead, he'll dish over to Martinic. Martinic with 3. Leaves to Rozan with 2. Rozan to the rim. He's fouled with 1.4 to go in the quarter.
Good job of Sam right there, trapping the ball, forcing them to have to make a play, trying to speed them up a little bit. Good job of defensive recovery by the path. Fortunately, on the two-man play, they foul.
And they're going to call that in the act. It was only the 4th team foul on the path.
You buying that?
I didn't see a shot get up.
I thought it was a little early.
Both free throws are made by Rozan. Heave by Langford at the buzzer, just short. So at the end of one, 25-17, the score advantage the path. Let's go inside the huddle as Coach Sam Mitchell with his team.
All right, next group. Let's go. Bring in this group. Let's go. Hey, rebound the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4 can switch. You got to help. Rebound the ball, get out, run. As we should be running. Go set a screen on ball, big fella. And roll and pop or whatever we're going to do. If you pop and don't have it, swing it to the wing. We got guards. Swing it, follow your go set a screen. Let's come off and play. Guys, we're playing shitty. Guys, you playing in front of every NBA team in here. We're not playing in hustle. Guys, they're breaking us down because every time from half court and we going for where they going? Just stay down in your stance. Don't react to that. Square the guy up. Stop letting guys put. These guys can't beat us off the dribble. The only reason they're beating you, bad footwork. All right, bad footwork. Show these guys you know how to play, man. Come on, let's run wide. If Q is running ahead of you, you start screaming trail. You walk right into an easy 17-foot jump shot. But let's pick up our play, guys. Show these guys. Look, they know that team over there is not very good. But they're watching how y'all play. So they're saying, okay, that team's not very good. Y'all turning the ball over, not getting good shots, not executing, not playing defense. Everything is being judged on every single thing, guys. Come on, pick it up now. All right, let's go. Pass.
That's Coach Sam Mitchell.
Doesn't
raw
get
and
any
uncensored.
better right there. It doesn't get any better. That's what we need coming out of timeouts. Let's tell it like it is.
Only the honest truth here on Adidas EuroCamp.com as the Path hold that 25-17
Are we still on the air?
lead. We are. Thankfully, the FCC doesn't track online broadcasts, so we're in the clear on that regard.
We're good to go.
You saw him talking to Reed, though. He said to keep the physicality up. He was all about it.
Oh, that was priceless
man.
there. That was priceless. I don't know if we can top that now.
No.
I don't know if we can top that, guys. All right, let's throw it up, play some ball.
Oh, man. The bar has been set for you now for your
am I going to be mic'd up too?
I don't know.
Boy.
I'm assuming.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I was one of the first guys that did a game mic'd up.
Really?
The whole game.
That's awesome.
South Florida.
We got to get that as a Trivial Pursuit question
But
right there.
I'm not as colorful as Sam.
Slovenia will start with the basketball to start the second quarter, an 8-point advantage.
And watch for this defense to really try to get up and under the Slovenians, try to push them out a step further, disrupt rhythm.
Martinic gives over to Leicester, waiting for his man. He finds him in the form of Barch. Barch feeds inside to Urban Durnick. Saw a little post move finish earlier. Can he get another one? No, that one's too strong. And Reed corrals the board to Smart.
Great advance pass right there. Really nice job by Grimes.
Really nice move, and he finishes.
And that started with the advance pass. If you advance pass, obviously it's quicker to advance the ball up the floor in the pass. Good job of running the court wide, and Grimes with a good decision.
Quinton's first points of the ball game makes it 27-17. 10-point advantage. Nate Martinic matches up on Smart, steps back, long two. That one's a little strong.
Ball,
and skying high for the board was Grimes. Grimes feeds the Smart. He'll step into a triple. That one's wide. Reed's there to corral the board, though. Second chance, he spins. He'll kick it out. 3 in the air. 3 through the bottom of the net. Guess who? Emmanuel Quickly. His first triple of the ball game. Had a couple yesterday. And in rhythm makes this a 13-point lead, largest of the game for the Path.
Then he knocks it down. What does he do? He gets in the stance, gets more aggressive defensively, speeds up the Slovenian team. Nice interior passing.
Skyhook by Lecesar. Brings it down to 11, but you're right, Coach. No showboat, and he was confident right back in his stance. As the Path, Grimes drives all the way to the rim and gets fouled. He earns himself 2 free throws, trying to earn it the hard way.
Real simple basketball. Exactly what Sam was talking about in the break between the quarters. Dribble handoff, pushed it, had good spacing, played downhill, aggressive, attacking. Really good offense.
Grimes' first free throw is good. He's got 3 points, had 10 yesterday in the Path's matchup against the European All-Stars. One more for Quinton. He's ranked number 12 on the Rivals Top 100. Offers from Arizona, Florida, Marquette, Kansas. Indeed, one of those players that you name it, he's probably has it in his offer list right now. 32-19 the score, 13-point advantage. Credit them both to Grimes.
That's better weak side up. That's a good job of getting it to the backside and forcing that play.
Grimes to Quinierly, counted, put him on the line, off glass, falling away with contact on the right block. And Quinierly will have an opportunity.
Good job of playing
point number
through
5.
Contact right there with Quinierly. And look, think about the start of this half. I think actually what Sam said, obviously they were listening because the energy is totally different. They're so much more active defensively, and they're running and attacking.
Quinierly converts the old-fashioned three-point play, give him 5 for the game. And they'll call a foul on Slovenia, I believe. Or
technical foul, I think.
They did assess the technical foul. You're exactly right, Coach. Nejic Beric assessed the technical. Quickly leaves the free throw short, however.
Obviously, the official speaks more than one language.
Yeah.
He speaks Slovenian as well.
Got to have versatile bilingual officials.
I mean, I thought I could get away with some stuff yesterday. They understood a couple of choice American words.
Quickly splits the pair. 17 points tied for the largest lead of the ball game.
I got my vocabulary from Sam.
Smart will be the inbound man. As the technical foul leads to that 2 shots in the ball for the Path. Quinierly loses it, and Slovenia has a 2-on-2 opportunity. Americans rushing back. The feed all the way to the rim, and a finish right there by Luka Rozan. His first points. Brings the lead down to 15. Grimes, the other end, pushing the floor, leaves a bounce pass. Reed, one power dribble. He's going to the line and one.
I really like the way Grimes is playing. He's attacking in transition. He's making plays. And to make that pass, Reed has to run the floor as well. And Reed doing a good job of running the floor. So
it takes every one of those players exerting the energy to get in the right spot. And then it's a simple make the right pass and be in the right position to catch and then finish the tough power dribble by Grimes, able to give him the and one opportunity. He can't convert it, though.
It's the energy they're playing with right now. Look at the pressure on the basketball. Look where they're running and setting up. You can go underneath that screen as far as they're running that offense out. Good re-screen right there.
Beric got all the way to the rim, but blew the layup. Reed corrals the board. He's looking to push. Quickly, he'll fire along 2. That one left short. Skying high for the board was Luka Rozan. And here come the Slovenians. Beric feeds inside. Dernick lost it, and they'll call it kickball. It'll stay with Slovenia.
You see how quickly that the Path team converts turnovers, deflections into fast break opportunities. I mean, Slovenia, for them to have any chance to get back in this game, they have got to take care of the basketball.
And if you're the Americans, that's just another point of emphasis into this game, is that if they're going to turn the ball over, you have to make them pay, and they've done that to this point. Beric kicks it out to Lidl. Lidl pump fakes for 3, now takes an elbow jumper, left it just short, trying to crash the board. Initially was Reed. Grimes able to scoop it up for the Americans. He spins at half court. Now we'll have a fast break opportunity, a rarity of these. Quinierly extra pass quickly, now over to Grimes. Feed to Smart. Smart driving all the way to the rim, a lot of contact. He could not get the layup to go.
Good ball
Dernick secures the board.
Really good ball movement by the Path team. Sharing the basketball, making an extra pass, making one more pass. Really nice job.
Beric. Each of the Slovenians now over to Rozan. Muliomerovic feeds inside the post to Dernick. He's fouled. In the act, will go to the line for 2.
Been impressed with Grimes, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his poise, his pace that he's playing with, he plays with his head up, he takes contact, very impressive.
There's a nice treasure chest of guards on this Path team, but if you look at each one individually and specifically Grimes for this point of conversation, the way he is playing with his pace and being able to find the open man as well as knock down the right shots, any one of these guards a college program would be blessed to have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's a big point. They're all different, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you look at Grimes, he's a big physical point guard. Quickly, aptly named. Really can pressure the basketball, shooting the ball much better. Garland, explosive, makes really good decisions off the bounce.
Smart hangs. Will he get the bounce? No, they'll call the goaltend.
Can't put your hand under the net. You can take it off the rim.
I was hesitant at that point because I thought it was a goaltend earlier yesterday and realized that, of course, the FIBA international rules, you can take it off the rim, but there, you're right, you can't go through the net.
And that's hard to get used to. There's ball pressure again.
Quinierly tried to pick the pocket of Jernej Ladle, but could not, so it'll stay with the Slovenians. But you're right, it's a smorgasbord of assorted point guards. All with high level of skills, but all a different, like you said, package of skills in terms of what they excel at.
Quinierly really can shoot the ball. He can shoot the ball with range. He's got decent size. There's another line.
Rozon puts it on the deck, and the turnover is taken by the Americans. Smart went out of bounds to save it. Leads to a transition opportunity. Knifing all the way to the rim was Quinierly. He couldn't finish. And now the Slovenians will try their hand at a fast break off. Rozon stepped on the end line. First time that's happened today.
You feel better about that? You haven't talked to both teams before the game?
Yeah,
you were a little sideways about guys stepping out of bounds yesterday.
Yeah, I was. And to be clear, in terms of my basketball skill set, I would never be sharing the floor with these young men, so not trying to harp on too much on the out-of-bounds stuff, but I'm glad that we got to the second quarter before one of those happened.
Well, I'm happy you're happy.
Thanks, Coach.
That's good. That's good. Here comes a little weak side screen. This is their one main go-to set. A little UCLA cut to a weak side screen, and there's Smart getting in the lane.
All the way to the rim is Smart. He, being aggressive with the drive, draws contact, will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Now, you think I'm here because I want to be talking to you. See, I'm here because I'm working on my scouting report for tomorrow.
Hey, it's a let me help you type thing.
Exactly.
I'm okay with that.
I'm multitasking
okay with
right here today with you.
It's a pleasure as always. Even if there's ulterior motives involved, Coach, I understand. At the end of the day, you got to get the W's. I respect it. It's all right.
Want to get invited back. I got to win one or two more games. Got Jimmy Gatto on the baseline. You know, when the big boy's in the house.
He's taking notes.
He's taking notes, making sure I'm doing a good job. My general manager, Dan Cutler, I mean, he's put a little pressure on me.
I understand. Smart hits the first free throw. We'll have one more. Monte out of Baton Rouge. Offers from Florida State, Kansas, LSU, Oklahoma State, and UCLA here early for that young man. Knocks them both down. Make it a 19-point lead. Lidl tried to drive on the far baseline. He's fouled. Credited to Quickly. So it'll stay with the Slovenians on a side out.
You know, when you're playing in 2 separate units like the USA team is doing, the Path team is doing, it takes a minute or 2 to settle in for the second group. Like the group that gets back at the start of the quarter, they get some words of wisdom from Sam. They're a little motivated. They're challenged. Second unit comes in. Their opponent's already in the flow of the game. They've been sitting in for 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes. It takes a little while for them to get kind of energized and back in the game.
Is this the opposite of, say, since you're sending in a whole new group of 5 guys, typically because it is a fresh group like that don't have that same, like you said, the words of wisdom from Coach Mitchell and the group on the floor for the Slovenians has already been out there. It's vastly different than, say, a 6th man coming into the game. If this was a normal collegiate game, but you have a whole unit.
In a normal game, you're putting in a piece.
Right.
You know, you're putting in a piece. You might put in a guy that's coming off the bench that keeps you status quo. You might put in a specialist, a guy that's a defender or a big-time shooter if someone's zoning.
Spark plug, right.
All right. Here, you're putting in a whole team, and that group has to play together, and they've got to be committed to each other. And if one guy isn't competing at a high level, it impacts the group.
Right.
So, like, when you put that group in, someone's got to take the lead. Like Garland right now, he's got to take the lead. Reddish got to take the lead. Someone's got to be the Energizer bunny for this group.
Rozon receives the inbound from Ziga Habat. And he'll control Luca on the far left side. Off a screen, Langford applying pressure, driving all the way to the rim and finishing. Was Luca Rozan. He's got 4. Make it 42-25. Reddish operating the point guard slot, matching up on Baric. And his jumper is misfired. Reddish tried to get a second chance opportunity, but the rebound's controlled by the Slovenians, and they'll look to push. Habat kicks in the corner. Gradolnik picks up his dribble, and a cross-court risky pass falls to Lidl. Lidl rolling the pick and roll, trying to get all the way to the rim. Second chance opportunity, no. Let's try a third chance. That one blocked away by Brown.
You got to feel the clock right here.
Lidl kicks in the corner. Shot clock ticking down. 3 in the air. 3 through the bottom of the net as the horn sounds by Ziga Habat. His second triple of the ball game. Lead down to 14. On the other end, Montgomery in rhythm. Misfires on that. And the Slovenians able to control the loose ball. Feeding it to Gradolnik. Gradolnik finds his man at the low baseline in the paint. It's Lidl. They'll reset their offense.
Good job of recovery by the Path team.
Habat all the way to the rim, draws contact. Reddish and Brown were both there.
This group isn't as engaged as the last group. And think about, you remember quickly early in the start of the second quarter,
right,
how active he was, how aggressive he was. All right, this group is stayed on the solids. The other thing is when you score, right now you can get into pressure. If you get stops, you can get in transition.
Right.
This group hasn't been as good defensively to start of their segment.
And that's the biggest thing is, like you said, and like the point of emphasis continue to be, is not remaining stagnant, regardless of if you're the first unit or the second unit. With this European style, if you're not keeping up that frenetic pace and getting stops on the defensive end, it can come back to bite you.
Yeah, and it's hard because I think these kids are watching just human nature. They
Reddish
were up
for
18
3.
or 20.
And short.
They were in pretty good shape.
Right.
Now they're just playing. But you got to also compete. You got to play and compete. Those are two things, and they're totally different things.
7 on the shot clock. Garland, step back triple. That one falls off the left side of the iron. Who's it off of? Last off the Slovenians. They'll stay on this end with a fresh 24. Or reset to 14. Carlno inbound. Baseline left underneath their own bucket. Give us to Reddish. Picked up his dribble, in trouble. And stepped on the end line, did Garland. Turnover back to the Slovenians.
You okay?
I'm fine. I'm doing good. Talk to me after the third game when we're up to 12. Then I might not be all right. Luka Rozan has it to the far left side over to Mulao Merovic. Now back to Gradolnik. He'll tee up a 3. That's one's pure.
Lazy closeout right there. Right there. That perfect example. The Slovenians moved the ball side to side. Every pass, no pass was contested. Late closeout, wide open 3-point shot.
Leads down to 9. Romeo Langford has on the far left side. Now over to Brown. Brown feeds to Reddish. Reddish thought about a step back. Instead puts it on the deck. Now Garland. Garland to Montgomery. He's fouled. Had a slam time mentality. They'll draw the contact. The foul's on Ibrahim Mulao Merovic.
Good possession right there by the Path team. Good ball reversal. UCLA cut a little weak side curl by Montgomery. Really good offense.
Montgomery, ranked number 18 on the Rivals Top 100. Gets that free throw to fall. He's an Auburn commit.
The Fighting Bruce Pearls.
I like the Fighting Sam Mitchells better myself. And not even a knock at Bruce Pearl. I just mean in terms of name and the smile it brings. I like the Fighting Sam Mitchells, especially after that pep talk after the first quarter. Slovenians run it now, 11-point advantage.
He's got a lot, in between quarters, he's got a lot of pressure on him between the third and the fourth quarter.
Both free throws made by Montgomery, and a foul on the drive by the Slovenians. A foul committed by the Path on the Slovenian drive, I should say.
Now I got a question for you. Like your reel that you do, watch this drive right here. Handles pressure. I thought he actually got away with a hook. But the Slovenians are trying to drive and attack and make some plays. When you put together your reel from EuroCamp, we're going to have Sam on it?
That'll be in the. That'll be in the.
You got it. Come on, you got it.
No, it'll be there. It'll be in the second cut though. We'll have Coach Mitchell's talk as that free throw is made right by Gradolnik. We'll have the Sam Mitchell cut and then the Jimmy Cook Seth Greenberg reaction in the booth. If you're okay with your name.
I want to see Langford attack right here, make a play. He gets a switch. He's got a big on him.
Now to Montgomery. He'll rise and fire and leave it short. This is about the time last game that Langford caught some great fire, and he'll throw it down this time as well.
Really good job by Langford, jamming the outlet pass, being active, moving his feet. Really nice play.
It's fun to see Romeo scoring runs. Let's see if we are able to see the start of one on that slam from him on the steal he created. As Iga Habat kicks it out in the corner to Rene Grodolnik, he leaves that one short, and it falls right into the lap of Garland. Garland, a little dribble move, almost ran out of space, instead leaves to Brown, and he draws contact in the lane. How many times have we seen that today? One of these guards find one of the big men down low, and then it's almost instant free throws once you're in that deep by this path team.
And it usually comes off a turnover, or a deflection, or long rebound. That one came off a long rebound, boom, you're out in transition, and Garland made a good decision, and the bigs are running the floor. The bigs don't run the floor, you don't have that drop-off pass.
Brown hits the first free throw. He'll have one more. I mentioned he's the 4th-ranked prospect on the Rivals Top 100 for this 2018 class. Gets them both.
Surprised the Sylvanians aren't trying to knock that ball off the rim on those soft free throws. Here's the ball pressure. This is what they need to do.
48-34 the score, and a moving screen.
And that is a moving screen, but a defender guarding the screener has got to communicate with Garland. I mean, that's just real simple. You can't leave your guy out to dry in a middle ball screen. I mean,
see that's what separates the coach from the fan, because the average fan might be like, yes, it's a turnover, but the coach is at the main point of why that happened, which is the communication.
There's your guy right
and
there.
And there's Langford. He's
nice
on a
job
little 4-0
running a little isolation for him. Sam sees him knock down the jumper, so what does he do? He comes right back to him.
Langford made 2 consecutive field goals now to this point. He's got 6, and Powell swatted away by Jordan Brown. Not letting anything get inside from him.
Another flat ball screen right there. Great block, but watch a flat ball screen. Poor communication. Great alertness by Brown on the backside.
Sometimes all it takes is one heads-up defender to save a miscommunication. Brown does that right there, and it leads to a timeout.
Being long, being quick, being active, being alert, all those things help you when you're on the weak side defensively. And that was just a really alert play. But as that flat ball screen comes up, you've got to call that and call weak. What they're trying to do is push that to the single side. So if there's no communication on that flat ball screen, you see that guy's getting whacked. And that all of a sudden, you do that after a while, you're going to lose your pressure on the basketball, because you say, why should I pressure the basketball if no one's going to call the screen out? That replay right there a second ago, Langford, really nice job of Sam seeing he made a bucket, going right back to him. He attacks it, good hard, one dribble pull-up jumper. That's really good basketball. It's a good job of trying to get a kid going. You know what I'd really like to right now?
What's that?
I'd like Sam's mic off, because that could be as good as it gets right now. I mean, do we trust him?
Let's see. Our producer, Brian Williams, thinking about it over there.
Brian's, he's got
ice, and we'll talk about halftime. Let's ice, but when the big comes set the screen, come with him and trap him on the side of the screen rope. And we zone up. That's our chance to go for steals, all right? Let's go.
And there we go. So on the side ball screen, they're going to look to trap it hard, rotate to the basketball, 2 interceptors and a protector. On the middle ball screens, all right, they're going to try to ice them. So let's see what happens and see how they do with this.
Coach, from a communication standpoint, you've mentioned how much you've stressed it to these players. What did you do during practice to try to emphasize and practice run improving communication?
To me, I literally challenging.
A three-point hit out front by Jernej Liedl.
Trying to challenge each kid individually, because if you get one guy talking, then you get 2 guys talking. If you get 2 guys talking, you get a 3rd guy talking. And that's, communication becomes an epidemic.
Langford works, long jumper from the right elbow, just short. Rebound, corralled initially by the Slovenians, and it is secured by Liedl. Liedl at the half-court line almost got it over and back. Instead, he'll pick up his dribble. Try to hand off to another guard. That's in the form of Ziga Habat. Habat off the screen, rolls around it, kicks it out. Liedl, left wing 3. That one's off. Rebound skying high for the board. And taking up the floor is Montgomery. Right to Reddish. Reddish has Langford to the far right wing. Instead, he'll take it himself. Can't get it to go. Slovenia is fighting for the board with one another. Liedl secures it. I'll see what they can do in the half court as the transition opportunity is folded away. Habat measures up on Garland.
They should be trapping that. On middle one, they should be icing.
Now over to Grodolnik. Grodolnik will step into a triple. That one long. Langford skies high for the board. Romeo absorbs contact. He's fouled by Luka Rozan to prevent the transition opportunity. Coach, from a strategy standpoint, it looked like most of the Slovenians aside from Rozan, were back on defense there. Why still commit the foul? Because
Why
at that
commit
point,
the foul?
I know it's to neutralize the fast break, but at that point you
now
had your
you're
defenders
shooting
back.
That's just a bad foul in the backcourt. They had good floor balance. I think it's instinct.
Yeah, that would make
instinct.
sense.
You know, I mean, obviously the coaches probably didn't want that, but I don't know. See the second coach across the way. He's lost all his hair. That's what happens.
Langford splits the pair, make it 51-37. Sub at the table. Aldiats Marins checks in for Slovenia. With 30
they
seconds
try
to go
to
in the
trap
half.
one of these ball screens. I think they're going to try to trap the ball screens with the 5-man.
How about?
All right? And that would be in this lineup. That was supposed to be trapped.
Mulo Omerovic sets the screen. Now they'll get over to Jernej Lidl. Lidl trying to find Mulo Omerovic, and he'll set a screen instead for Lidl. Lidl will utilize it. And stripped by Langford. It's going to be recovered by Reddish on the Langford strip. Reddish has numbers. Instead, knifes all the way to the rim. A lot of contact wildly. It's secured by Marins. Marins up the floor, and a 2-on-0 fast break opportunity for the Slovenians results in a turnover. Costly one, and 0.4 to go into the half. Buzzer sounds. That'll do it. At the scoreboard at halftime, the Path lead the Slovenians 51-37. We'll step out for halftime, but we'll leave you. No, we'll step out. We had the Coach Mitchell at mid-quarter break instead of the end-quarter break. So, Coach, before we step out, some thoughts for you on that halftime. What adjustments do you expect to see from the Slovenians now down 14?
Well, I think that they've got to handle the initial pressure. They can't commit live ball turnovers. They've got to be more physical in their blockouts. They've got to convert on those 2-on-0 transition opportunities. And then they got to find a way to figure out how to contain the ball off the bounce, because in those transitions, they're helping, they're dumping off, short dump-offs. It's really about not turning the basketball over there. If they take care of the basketball, then they have a chance. If they don't take care of the basketball, they have no chance.
The Path lead the Slovenians 51-37 at half, trying to improve to 2-0 here at EuroCamp 2017. Don't go anywhere. Myself and Seth Greenberg will be back for half number 2 right after this. You're watching EuroCamp 2017 right here on AdidasEuroCamp.com.